This is Julia James Davis, and welcome to The War on Beauty. I come from one of the greatest American dynasties that was cooed by traitors to the legacy and values that my grandfather Marvin Davis left behind. This almost killed me, and it almost destroyed my family, but through this basically a battle that we survived, it brought me and my family to deep faith in Jesus. My entire childhood, me, my mom, my dad, and my two brothers were under constant lawfare. And it wasn't just lawsuits. These were not just normal lawsuits. This faction spent millions of dollars getting lawyers in Texas, even lawyers whose kids went to my school. But these were highly publicized in magazines, in newspapers. There were articles. So that was another layer that just made this all the more awful. But it is in this that Jesus saved me and saved my family. My grandfather Marvin spent decades of blood, sweat, tears, and amazing self-sacrifice to build one of the most incredible American legacies of all time. And it was only in a few short years that all of this was not only tarnished after his death, but actively destroyed by unbridled greed and endless lawsuits. As it says in Matthew 7:15 through 16, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits." This faction who commandeered my family legacy is everything my grandfather Marvin stood for and everything that he built. He said, never sue, never turn on your family, be a good Jew and be a good American. The only reason my family survived this endless siege is literally because of Jesus. And for this, I have to thank my maternal grandmother, Grandma Ryan, who was the orphan turned stripper, who got my mom baptized Catholic as an infant. My mother's upbringing was so dangerous that Grandma Ryan wanted to make sure that my mom and her siblings were baptized in case that they were killed, they would have their angels to cross them over to the other side. But this baptism was the seed of Jesus that ended up sprouting in our time of need. So because I was born and raised in Houston, Texas with my father in the oil business, I traveled all over rural parts of Texas with him learning about the business. And it was in these moments where I was very close to my dad, visiting oil fields and drill sites, that I got to see how much this constant beleaguerment really hurt him mentally and emotionally. And it wasn't because he was guilty, he was innocent, but it was because he was being torn apart by these lawsuits. And my parents are actually the kindest, most amazing people, and they raised us. They were hands-on in raising us. I wasn't raised by nannies, so I was always with one of my parents who, because it was 8 years of my childhood, were likely on the phone with a lawyer or talking about these cases. And so it really caused so much stress, not just in them, but in all of us kids, that I ultimately had to go to the hospital. I had heart problems, and it wasn't a congenital heart problem. It was a heart problem that developed from the stress. But this ordeal truly shaped who I am today and my strong faith and values that prompted me to create The War on Beauty and carry on my great-grandfather's legacy with J-Day Dress Co. But I truly believe that this is what made me so firmly faithful in Jesus. In 1 John 5:4 through 5, he says, "For whatever is born of God conquers the world. And this is the victory that conquers the world, our faith." Faith truly does conquer everything. So in the midst of all this, my mom slowly began to return to her Catholic roots, and through prayer, we were all so strengthened through Jesus Christ. Genesis 50:20 says, "What is meant for evil, God turns to good." What I'm trying to say is that these Bible verses and prayer, it's not just empty words or empty gestures. These are real things. What it says in the Bible, it's not just words on a page, because I don't see how else my family could have gotten through this. And I am so grateful for it, and I would not trade what we went through for anything. In conclusion, the ones who carry the knowledge, the wisdom, and the legacy passed down from my grandfather is my father and me. And most importantly, we carry his ethos, which is very similar actually to the 10 commandments of the Bible, which is you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, you shall not make idols, you shall not covet what doesn't belong to you, and you shall honor your father and your mother. So my whole childhood was kind of the most epic firsthand lesson in what the Bible says in kind of a dangerous and crazy way. But because of it, I saw how Jesus works so supernaturally in people's lives. And I know this because I experienced it firsthand. So my whole mission with the War on Beauty is to spread the gospel, and it's called the good news for a reason. There really is so much to have hope and faith for. Even if you're in the darkest period of your life, Jesus will come through. He really will. And because I'm a Catholic, I believe that it's through the sacraments of the church too, the Eucharist, the Mass, praying the Rosary, devotion to Mother Mary, we do have hope on this earth, and it lies in Jesus. It doesn't lie in money, but it's in Jesus. And that is such great news. So I'm so thankful if you watched all the way to the end. My whole channel is about the war on beauty, how beauty has been weaponized against us and erased in our society as a tool of oppression and destruction. And I'm so very passionate about this topic. So please like, subscribe, comment, and follow me for more. So I will see you in the next video.